I need to make this really quick. But my grandfather passed away about 2003, and I wasn't there when he passed, but my parents were. And my grandmother passed first in the mid '90s, and I've mentioned that here on this channel before. If you follow me at all. And so she, grandmother was already gone. My grandfather, I call him Pappy. He was in basically his deathbed, and my mom was there, and my parents were building a new house. They had no, they had moved out. Yeah, they were in their new house by that time, but they didn't have a chandelier, and I know this story very well because my mom kept saying it over and over, and because it disturbed her so much. It disturbed her so much because she was there in the room with my grandfather in the bed, and she was telling him, "Oh, I know what chandelier I want to put in our kitchen. I'm going to get grandmother's." And at that point, my grandfather just stared at her, just stared at her. His eyes went completely black, and it was basically that death stare that we hear about. And it just stared right through her, and wherever she went, he was staring at her, and it was freaking her out because she thought she got him mad, but he was dying, and she yelled for my dad. My dad came in, and she's like, something's going on. I mentioned that I wanted the chandelier, and he's been staring at me this whole time and won't stop staring. No matter where I go, kind of issue and thing. And well, he finally started staring at the door, and my mom says he just looked scared. He looked scary, and he looked scared. And I'm thinking, and then he of course, he passed, and he died right then. But I just have this fear. Is he in heaven or not? He was not a church-going person. He did believe in God. He did believe in Jesus. He taught me a lot concerning nature. He was an outdoorsman. He was a supervisor. He was an engineer where he worked at. He was a very kind of important person, but he wouldn't let my grandmother work at all. They didn't have a lot of money, but he was always giving it away. And he really helped us all out, all the grandkids, and even the great grandkids. He got to know some of the great grandkids when they were in like preteens, and now they're all grown up and they have their own kids. I still can't get over that some of my cousins are grandparents. We all just keep getting older, but and that was, oh gosh, it's been a while. 2003. This is 2022. That was before my daughter was born, and I really hope and pray that my grandfather went to heaven. Just her witness and testimony of my grandfather's death has always been in the back of my head for years. And I just have this small fear that maybe he didn't go to heaven. That whoever he saw scared him that much. Now, when my aunt died, she saw her mother. She saw grandmother. And I've mentioned that here before, somewhere in the depths of my channel. and it was a completely different scenario. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. But recollecting my grandfather's passing has just been, it was very unsettling. It really disturbed my mom for years. And my mom is still around. She's not quite all there. Maybe I shouldn't say that. They don't know about my channel, but it's just very concerning about the direction my grandfather went, and I just can't stop thinking about it. Even though it's been like, so long. For some reason, I just can't do the math. I want to say 14 years, but it's been longer than 14 years. 18 years. 18, 19 years ago. Because he was a man we all looked up to. He was a man we learned a lot from. The high school, he never went to college. Everything he learned in high school. High schools in America back then were like a college. He learned how to do a lot of stuff, electrical, a lot of skills that are not being taught today. A lot of skills that are not being taught today. I remember seeing his math. He was exceptional at math. Just a very smart, wise person. And I pray that he is in heaven with our Lord. But after hearing over and over, and even after a while, my dad was like, please just stop talking about it, because she would get excited and she'd say it again, and she always kind of felt guilty. Did I make him mad? Did I set him on his death spiral? And over and over, and it just I'm just like, even remember thinking to myself, Mom, please stop, just stop. But just hearing that is scary. And I've been hearing some, NDEs, TDEs, temporary death experiences. I heard a lady just mention that today on a video, and I'm like, that's a good way to put this instead of near death, because you are dead. You were dead and you came back, et cetera, et cetera. So, yeah, I don't know. It was I wasn't there. I probably would have been freaked out as my mom was. And I don't know if my mom has seen anyone else pass away or not. I don't know. I don't think she was there when her mom passed, but she may have been. But it can be very scary, and I still to this day pray that he didn't go somewhere where I may not be able to see him again. But he was all Alabamian, I can tell you that. He loved this state. He showed me so much. We went all over the place. We fished. We enjoyed nature. We walked. We picked muscadines. We did a lot of good things together. And I remember one time, I was a teenager, and I said, I'm glad we're friends. And he got stern with me. I'm not your friend. I'm your grandfather. I'm like, oh, okay. He kind of put me in my place, and I was respectful of that. I did not disagree. I did not challenge it. You did not challenge your adults like people are doing now, out of disrespect, out of ego and arrogance of me, myself, and I, like kids today are doing. I mean, kids of every generation do that to some extent, but I've never seen it to this extent. So, but yeah, that's all I really had to talk about that was on my mind, that I just wanted to get this out now. I don't know why, but I didn't mean to bring anyone down, but it's just been on my mind for years, for like 19 years. So with that, thanks for watching. I didn't mean to bring anybody down with this news, but have you seen anybody pass away, a loved one, or a relative, a spouse, etc., husband, wife? Uh, Heaven forbid your own child. Um, so we'll catch you next time on something a lot more fun, a little more uplifting, maybe something out of the Bible or the Transformer the card game. So thanks for watching. Have a great day. Turn this around. I am hearing something. And we'll see you next time. Peace.